brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Welcome, everyone. Grab your cats, your squirrels, your dogs, and settle in.
Maybe not all at once.
So you're saying a furry creature is required to listen to this episode?
Well,
you probably will need
Mom,
one of those.
I need my pet squirrel.
You need one of those emotional comfort animals. What are those called? Emotional
support animals.
Yeah.
I was alluding to what we're going to talk about today.
Beer?
Yes.
Oh,
There's a squirrel in my beer.
Creatures that give us
roadkill beer.
That was such a lame, analogy. It's just, I know what we're doing, and I'm still saying it's lame.
This is the wrong crowd to be clever with.
Maybe we should start this episode over again and again again.
It's not going to be any better.
Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, you guys are so tough. Or at least you think you are.
Burn.
Welcome, everyone. This is another Suds segment where, besides minor technical difficulties, the more you drink, the funnier we get.
That's true.
Yes.
That is a very true statement.
Start drinking now.
Yes.
Or pause the episode, drink a lot, and then start it playing again.
And boy, do we have some pet stories.
Pre-gaming.
We're not telling those rabbit stories anymore, Mark. We
Always suggested.
I want to
Especially
chat
for
the rabbit story.
We're banned from that.
Yeah.
Joining me at the table today is good old boy Dave.
Hi, baby.
It's not far off from the real thing.
Love, true love.
Wow. Good old boy Mike. Hi.
Despite the repeated, injunctive relief notices that I received from Canada, I'm still here. So there's like a whole group of people in Ottawa that just are pissed. I don't know what it is, but
Are you
Ottawans.
Are you afraid you're going to get yanked if you go too close to the border?
there's going to be, they're going to use the rule we use here in the U.S. and they're going to separate me from other people that have righteous beer. So, yeah.
I could see a Canadian special ops team, all in denim coming down and stealing Mike and
I can't envision
Is that fresh hot beer? Sir, step to the right into this small room.
Sorry, Gonna have to take you back to Canada.
So sorry. So sorry.
That is not LeBlat.
Moosehead Light.
Ooh, that's
Moosehead Ice.
It's an experimental fresh hot beer.
Moosehead Seltzer.
Hey.
Oh, God. Don't go. No.
no, never. No.
Okay.
No.
Don't forget I said that, please.
And who said that?
Speaking of which, yes. Welcoming him back to the table. All of us are.
That's for sure.
Long
Yay.
hiatus.
Ain't gone that long?
Is Reverend Mark.
Too long.
The Rev abides.
Very nice.
Do you have a White Russian in each hand when you're saying that? Bless you, my child.
In nomine Patri et Filii.
What's the Latin for hold my White Russian?
I can also speak Pentecostal. Just repeat after me.
How do you say hold my snake in Latin?
Just say this real quickly.
Oh.
See me tie my bow tie.
We just lost the Pentecostal
I'm
audience.
telling you, it's just a whole group of people just dropped that
there they
right
went.
there.
We lost the Jimmy Swagger.
So
Lager
everybody in
crowd.
Ottawa and all the Pentecostal just immediately. So yeah,
Heat map of connections.
what's that like?
just
4.5
dropping.
people.
Well, maybe 5. Also,
Per square acre. Come on.
All right, yeah.
Rounding out the table.
yes, is good old boy Drew. Hi, Drew.
Oh, hi. I'm I'm back again. I'm here.
He is.
Yeah.
Is this now?
I'm looking
This is
at
now.
it.
That's for sure.
Okay.
This is now. And I'm good at Gal Juliana, in case you didn't know who I was. So,
Ooh, that is not the right button there, Dave.
It was.
Okay.
Everything she says is funny, Mike.
He's just going to run with
I
it.
thought she was the boss. So.
No. I'm not doing that on this show.
Oh, I see.
well, I'm not the boss on this show. I'm just the.
Well, you're always the boss.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. Thank you. Today, it's another takeover. Now, not the world, certainly not the airwaves. We're doing a brewery takeover. What is this? Who am I? What am I reading? This makes no sense.
If you actually read it, it does.
Questionable. So we are going to do a brewery takeover today. And it's going to be on, yay, one of my more favorite regionally, locally kind of breweries. Creature Comforts Brewing Company that has been brewing great beer in Athens, Georgia since 2014. Yay. Before we go any further, though, this SUDS segment is brought to you by...
Pull My Finger. It's the dating app for marriage-minded singles who want to skip past the excitement and, hard work of new relationships and get right to the good stuff. Forget the little black dress and go straight to sweatpants and an old t-shirt. No more glamour shot profile pics, no makeup, no filters, no problem. When you're ready for the real thing and you don't have time to stop and smell the roses, Pull My Finger. Download today.
Hey, good old boy Dave, why don't you give us some background on Creature Comforts Brewing Company?
Well, of course, because you're the boss, I absolutely will. From Wikipedia, the sum of all human knowledge, as everyone knows, Creature Comforts Brewing Company is a craft brewery founded in April 2014 by David Stein, Adam Beauchamp, Derek Imes, and Chris Heron in Athens, Georgia. Those are a lot of words. They have become popular for their 4 core beer brands, most notably their Tropicalia IPA, as well as a variety of seasonal and specialty releases. The brewery is located in a former Snow's tire shop. Memorabilia, including the large outdoor signage and another sign advertising Michelada tires, still remain, keeping the integrity of the building's character while renovating it into a brewery. Earned the founders a preservation award from the Athens Heritage Foundation in 2014.
Now, wait just a second.
That's exciting. That's exciting news.
Now, you're saying that just because they left up a tire sign, that's preserving history?
It's a tax break, Mike.
Are you
Don't hate on me.
Shush it. Plus, it's stuff they didn't have to carry away.
So you're telling me if I leave this tire sign up here, I'll get me $20,000?
Well, plus the other signs.
Also,
So
And they didn't paint the outside of the building.
So I got to pay $1,000 to take it down, or $20,000 just to leave it up. Well, I don't do math, but that sounds like a good deal.
numbers are hard.
How rude. In 2018, Creature Comforts expanded their production into a second building in the Southern Mill Historic Complex, adding 50,000. That's barrels to meet growing demand for their beer. It has plans to open a tap room and production facility in the Los Angeles Fashion District in summer of 2021. That's to appeal to their growing homeless and vagrant clientele.
I think you're confusing them with high fashion.
Oh, sorry. Well, they're
Fashion
all
district.
They're all
Haute
very
couture.
They're all very thin. So,
Indeed. Wayfish, I believe,
Yes.
is the...
underfed. So that's my bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's skip, about 12 states in between and just go right to California. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Good old boy Drew. Help us out here.
California.
Please tell us
Bail us
today's
out of
lineup.
this.
California.
Now we're finally on to the beer as opposed to the signs and the tax breaks and
And the
the
whatnot.
homeless waifs.
And Mike's
And the whatnot.
terrible accents.
So today, the Creature Comforts Brewing Company beers that we'll be trying include Tropicalia or Tropicalia, however you prefer. India Pale Ale, 6.6% ABV. The Automatic Pale Ale at 5.5. The Athena Berliner Weisse at 4.5. The BIBO,
BIBO.
BIBO Pilsner at 4.9. The Silent World Black Lager. Ooh, I do like a black lager at 5%. The Glamour Muscles Triple IPA at 10%.
Woof. Dang.
Ooh. And the Imperial Trop Haze Hazy Double IPA at a respectable 8.
Oh, my.
You think they called it Imperial Trop Haze because they wanted to save money on the 4 letters?
Well, it would
Pickle.
exceed my standard because all beer names that are 32 letters or more is not a valid beer name. So
32. 1, 2, 3.
yeah. Have you had a beer name that has more than 32 characters that for some reason the beer gets better with more letters? No. It doesn't fit on the tap handle. It doesn't fit on the can.
I've never been
I
bored
can't
enough to
remember
really
things beyond like 3
go that
basic
deep into
words.
it.
Weinsteipenbrewing.
It doesn't rhyme with my favorite beer, which is free beer. So
How about all those beers from overseas? The brothers, one of the brothers.
Oh yeah, Evil Twin. They make crazy.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. What is?
I went around the tree and down the whole beer.
Does anyone know
right.
what
Exactly.
an empty
It's always
New
like-
Haven train car means?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot of letters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it's a good beer.
You should name your children that.
29.
We'll be
by
right
the
back
way.
after this brief interlude with more. Welcome back, everyone. As we're giggling.
Mike did his best Scarlett O'Hara, and it was
Please.
it was magic.
Not again.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
again.
Magical.
This Tropicalia is so good. Oh, he's doing it again.
Vivian Lee is spinning in her grave.
Wow, as is the other cast members. Okay, well, for those of you just tuning in, hi. Hi and welcome.
Please don't go away.
Please don't go away.
Please don't touch that dial.
We actually
It's,
have something worthy to talk about today.
it's going to get better, I swear.
It's got to.
So we are doing a brewery takeover, which is always a fun thing. And today's brewery is Creature Comforts Brewing Company. Reverend Mark, would you read the SUDS ratings? And since we're covering a Georgia brewery, please give us your deep Southern
My
accent.
deep Southern.
Deepest.
Resonance.
Yes.
Well, bless your heart, that really sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Number 1. Number 2. Uncle Beauregard, was that a belch? Number 3. What a relief.
That actually sounded like it was a relief.
And number 4. Frankly, a body should never not make a sound like that. That's a double negative.
You're Southern. I'm not
you
sure
were
if you grasped
supposed to know that. Yeah.
Like half of our audience didn't get that, but go ahead.
And number 5. Oh my, listen to that hang time. Give me another.
I like how you drew that out. That was nice.
It's very Long Beach, Mississippi.
Oh, Brad,
Long
I do
Beach,
declare
Mississippi.
There's something else dead in my cup.
These creatures are not giving me any comfort.
Okay, well, let's get to the beer.
Yes.
It's about
yeah.
daggum time, y'all.
That's Southern too.
Boom hour?
All right, let's start with the beer that started everything for Creature Comforts. You know, when I think of Creature Comforts, it's got to be the Tropicalia, right?
Absolutely. Part of the story that I had to share about, Tropicalia was I actually had it in Atlanta for the first time on tap. And I was like, wow, this is an amazing IPA. I love the hop blend off this. It had great timing. I think there were a lot of West Coast IPAs that were, kind of floating around at the time. And everybody was trying to figure out what was going to be their signature beer. And they figured this out really quick, at Creature Comforts. But to me, I think the big thing that they missed was the opportunity to expand and to move, outside the state of Georgia. And I really thought that they would have come to Tennessee or South Carolina or even Florida. Was probably my biggest thought was that they would expand, to a neighboring state. And they just sat on it for like months, like 8, 9, probably a year and a half went by, and they just stayed, in Georgia. And I was like, no, you're not going to make it for the long haul if you're just going to be a one state wonder. It's just not going to happen.
6 years later.
Well, they did expand, and they've added a lot of beer that we're going to get to talk about today. They still have been pretty slow to expand their distribution.
And you know what? That's okay, though.
Yeah, but they have. And I don't know how many states are in. I would guess probably 8 to 10 at the most. So
none of them are Tennessee.
And while we have, definitely seen a trend in the industry for places that don't expand, enough, there also are cautionary tales of those that have expanded too big, too fast, too soon, and crashed and burned as well. So, kudos to them for making delicious beer for as long as they have.
And it is. Yeah. As we're tasting it here today, I love this hop blend. It's really good. It's really good fresh. This is a great beer. When you catch it, in the first, 2 weeks, 30 days, you're going to enjoy this.
Yeah, and I think it's always a balancing act between volume and quality. It's the fact that it's fresh and it's local adds a lot to the pop. At least it tastes like that on this one.
If you can scale up and keep the quality good, that's great. But if you can't, and plus with a lot of these hoppy beers, if you're not sure you're going to sell it, and then so you push it out,
right,
and then it sits on the shelf with 14 other beers that are more local than yours, and you're not getting picked up, or
refrigerated.
When somebody tries it, it's going to taste like crap. So I'm with you, Mike. I think I would love to, if we could have been buying Tropicalia in Nashville 3 years ago, that would have been freaking amazing.
Well, the thing that as I'm continuing to sip this today, it really reminds me of some other products that were released about the same time. Lagunitas IPA, I think, is very close to this. Everybody's nodding their head. Mm-hmm. And, I really see that kind of moving into some of the same space. This is a beer you're going to find in the ballpark. You're going to find this, at a convention. This is going to be, on every tap handle, within a, 300-mile radius of the brewery. This is one of those very approachable IPAs that you're going to find, very pervasive.
It's bitter, but it's not super bitter.
Yep.
Got some nice citrus.
It's got a lot of everything. What do you think, Juliana?
Yeah, it's very classic, and every time I drink it, it reminds me of the first time that I had it. And I was really blown away because we were getting so many West Coasty beers at the time that this to me was very refreshing because it had that citrusy, passion fruity thing. Also, at 6.6%, it will
you gotta
sneak
love
up.
that too.
Yeah, it does not taste like a 6.6. And you could crush a lot of these. And the cans are the perfect size.
Yeah, and the bitterness that lingers, it's to me very almost like grapefruit. I don't know. It's a clean, pithy kind of taste. It's something that I could quash.
Yeah.
Got a mouthful of pith.
Totally. Yeah. Well, we are going to rate the Tropicalia IPA from Creature Comforts a 4.
Yay! Great start.
Really good start. And I love that we started with the flagship.
Downhill from here.
We'll see, as they kind of, round out through some of these other beers, can they maintain the intensity of that quality? Yeah. Because this is a very well-made beer, too. That's the thing I like. This tastes just as good 5 years ago as it does today. And I love that.
Very true. Very true. Even with the expansions that they have done.
Yep.
All right, let's go automatic now and talk about their pale ale.
Automatic.
Called Automatic. This is 5.5%. It's bright, refreshing, and a drinkable American pale ale. English as a second language, sorry.
This is a bottle with a message in, and the message is, beware.
They say it has a delicate, balanced hop flavor with aromas of berry, citrus, and pine.
So this is more citrus than, definitely the last, hop.
Yeah.
All that intense bitterness is kind of moved almost completely out of this. This is definitely like somebody dropped a lemon wedge, in your glass.
So the Tropicalia was definitely like a cleaner bitterness. This has got sort of, I don't know, almost an earthiness to it for me. It's bright, I will say. There's delicate, but there's something else going on.
I think also the Tropicalia, even though it was very clean, it was balanced also in a malt way. I mean, not that I got malt, but there was some heft to it.
This is more
this is a lighter beer overall, and so to me it balances a little more in the. It's not harsh, but it's kind of tilting in that direction for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I like how the beer, the malt just kind of sits back and lets the hops like kind of ride on top of it. And you really get to enjoy them. And it's not overdone. What do you think, Julie?
This is another, to me, I really like it. An everyday drinking beer, not too hoppy, and I think very enjoyable for a good variety of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I wish they were all like this, because if they were, it'd be such a nice time.
I think every time when I think of, pale ale in general, I really think of it's the absence of flavor. And to me, this actually has a bit more hoppiness than I would tend to expect in a general pale ale. So if this was sitting beside any of the macro beers that fall in this category,
right. So
you would go, oh my God, this is so hoppy,
So like think of like the kind of the hallmark of pale ale, which is Sierra Nevada.
Right. Yeah.
I think this is, I mean, it's definitely not the same beer, but
that's more piney. This is more citrus.
Right. But you kind of get that they're both really well made.
Yeah. This is a very well made beer.
Yeah.
That's totally crushable at 5.5. Just hand me a pitcher of this, all day long. And I actually like the fact that it's a bit more flavor forward. So
I agree. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we are going to rate Automatic from Creature Comforts a 4.
Man, that's a really strong start.
It is. Well, they're both two really good beers. So there you go.
Can they keep it going, though? I'm scared.
I would be.
I'm a little apprehensive.
Looking at other things that are on the lineup. Yeah, it's going to sink or swim on the
Once
black
we start,
lager.
we're veering away from the hoppy beers for a couple. So,
All right. Well, let's go Greekish, and let's talk about
wait a minute.
Athena.
Springing from the mind of Zeus.
Mm-hmm. Athena is their Berliner Weisse, 4.5% ABV, a refreshing, gently tart German-style wheat beer. Their take on the classic Berliner Weisse is brewed with a house blend of lactobacillus, which imparts notes of citrus, cider, and Sauvignon Blanc.
I get all that. It's not bad. I mean, this is not a bad.
I'd say more Viognier than Sauv Blanc, but
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Sauvin. No.
Wow.
You know what? We've already got one mic at the table, Drew. All right, we don't need another.
I like the lacto, and it's not as intense with like a lactic sting that that you get in some of them that you need to balance with fruit.
Lactic Sting. That'd be a cool band name.
That would be a cool band name. And I was thinking the exact same thing, but from, I think, sort of the opposite perspective. I wish it had a little more lactic sting.
Well, that's what I'm
to
saying.
it.
This is a little more
more traditional,
a little understated,
German,
not in a bad
though,
way.
I think.
It would be a little intense if it was more true to style, but it is still within the style. And one that I prefer, I think I could drink a little more of this.
I don't recall a lacto in a Blender Weiss. Is there another beer that's done that? I don't recall.
Other
than, or including that?
I'm saying I've never had a Blender Weiss that has lacto in before I had this one today that I can recall. Is there another one that does that? And it's kind of like stacking on, kind of the mouthfeel, because, the wheat beer itself kind of brings a creaminess, kind of mouthfeel to it. Right. And the milk sugars, that you're bringing around with, the lacto is just kind of stacking on top.
It's not lactose. That's not what
That's
It's lactic.
It's
I think we were all
lactobacillus.
sort of sharing it.
Am I reading this wrong?
Yeah. So there's no lactose.
It's a house-
Okay.
So when
Lactobacillus.
So
Lactobacillus.
it's the souring agent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
And so
I'm sorry, I
it's,
was reading the
It's the
notes
soured
wrong.
grain.
Yeah.
And I know, like as
That's
a
what
home
was
as a
tossing
home
me
brewer,
off.
a lot of times you would just
Sorry,
add in
everybody.
lactic acid.
Yeah.
Also.
That was Dave's mistake.
Wow.
Jeez, Dave.
Yeah. What
Again?
a jerk.
Yeah.
What a jerk I am. Putting words on a page and expecting Mike to read them.
All right. I do like this. It's very good. It does have a creamy mouthfeel to it, and it has a good citrus overtone to it. This is a solid blender Weisse. I think there's some fans that are looking at this style, and I think they're always looking for that tart fruit, kind of overtone, in a blender Weisse. Plum is, to me, I think is like the standard.
I think American breweries have changed people's expectations of what a Berliner Weisse should taste like.
This is a lot softer.
Like if you want the traditional German, it's a little more honeyish, a little way. I think even softer than this.
And don't you use?
They have
Don't you also
Fritz
pour it with a
von Bringen.
grenadine or whatever? I mean, so
Right.
yeah.
I think they're brewing beers for American palates, though, because the sour drinkers that I know, and I count myself among them.
Sure.
Even though I appreciate different styles and being true to style, when I pick up a sour beer, even if it is a mild sour, quote unquote, like a Berliner Weisse, I want to drink a sour beer. I'm in the mood for something sour,
especially if you're buying 6 of them. If you're buying a 6-pack, you definitely I don't want to taste history necessarily. I want to drink a beer that I want to drink. So
Well,
I get you on that.
I am definitely thinking of what is competing against this in this market. And to me, the Orpheus, blender Weisse is right there, right alongside this.
That's a great
and I'm
beer.
sorry, but I would pick the Orpheus all day long over this blender Weisse.
I
This
agree.
is something a lot more approachable. I think this is for somebody that's never had a blender Weisse,
Yep.
and they're just kind of easing into it. This is something that you hand to that person. But for somebody that's really looking for something that's to style, you're going to go, this is way under what I was thinking it was going to be.
I think this is more of a tap room beer.
Yeah.
Like instead of maybe a taking home.
Fair point.
And I say it's
Fair
more
point.
approachable. Doesn't mean it's better on point, but I still think this is kind of like a gateway Berliner Weisse.
There you go.
Sure.
That's a good way.
Yeah. I think it's a great way.
What do you
Say
think?
A great way to
Boss?
a gateway.
I like it because I don't like I like that it doesn't have that kettliness. Sometimes, the kettle sour Berliners.
Well, it's just overdone.
Yeah, it is, and
agree.
it's a little too sharp. I know you guys are saying this is soft, but I like the softness of this, and this would be a type of Berliner that I would like to experiment with fruit on, which I have a feeling, or at least I would think that at the tap room they might be experimenting with different fruits added to this as a base.
Peaches.
Yeah,
I
you know what I
love
mean,
peaches.
apricots and
Apricot.
and,
So
and
kind
more.
of like that idea, is if you think of this as a base beer
Yeah,
in and of itself, and if you went down that path of creating, whole fruited, blender Weisses with this, I agree with you. It would let the fruit shine because the beer is not going to get in the way. It's not going to compete.
I
with
think
the
you
fruit.
could even just get a little juice and just kind of like what they do in Germany with the syrups, but just take a little peach juice or whatever.
I love the idea.
drop it into
Use
this.
what's in your backyard. Peaches on blender Weisse. I mean,
or gooseberry.
yeah.
yeah.
Snozberries.
Yeah, I think those are all really great choices.
Why not just go big and go persimmons?
Yeah. Ooh, that might be a little.
Well, the Athena Berliner Weisse from Creature Comforts, we are going to rate a 3. Now, let's talk about their Pilsner, otherwise known as BIBO. BIBO.
With all due respect, and remember, I'm saying with all due respect, that idea ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
Oh, that hurts.
Unless it's a Velvet Elvis, but anyways.
Especially the dolphin.
Well, this is a crisp, dry, and classic Pilsner. a distinct continental hop flavor and aroma that is well balanced, tasty, and crafted brew. Also of note, you wonder where BIBO comes from, folks? Any idea?
Yes. Can we guess in advance?
Sure.
I am going to say that it was one of the brewer's dog's name.
I'm going to say it's an acronym for Best If Bought On.
Okay.
I think it stands for somebody having a bee in their bonnet.
Nice.
I'm saying some sort of random rhyme scheme.
Wrong, all of you. It's coined,
But of course.
It's coined after Albert Einstein's parrot, which he received as a gift for his 75th birthday.
BIBO.
I hear it now.
I can't make this up.
Way overthought it.
Someone made that up.
I think it's pretty rad. Okay, we'll get our tasting notes on this beer in just a minute.
Shipped.
Welcome back, everyone. So today we are talking about a brewery takeover from Athens, Georgia, and the brewery is Creature Comforts Brewing Company. So we are going to we're going to continue with our tasting notes now on BIBO, which is their Pilsner.
I taste parrot. Okay, now after you told us that, I can't taste anything but parrot.
Davey, want
There's
a
a
cracker?
dead parrot in my glass.
I know a dead parrot when I see one.
Yes. I don't like it. There is crisp, dry. That is not what is going on here. This is very
Wet
malty. It's very bready.
The finish is kind of crisp.
So that
I
makes
just-
it more like a Bavarian lager.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's too sweet. There's
There's
no
not that
way.
hop. It needs a hop.
This would
presence
make the
that it
top
does not
100
have.
Pilsners I've had in my lifetime. Not even close.
No, but I would, if you told me it was a lager, a continental
Yeah.
lager, I would kind of like go with that because
sure.
I get a little bit more of the malt, a little bit more of the really baked bread.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not as much cracker,
Right.
But-
yeah.
but you don't get that hop balance to it that you want in a Pilsner.
So I don't
yeah.
think that the description is matching up with what's in the glass. But when you look at just what's in the glass, it's a good beer. It's something you would order like
You would think
the 5-gallon load.
A
but,
Georgia brewery should be able to provide plenty of cracker in their Pilsner.
Yes, wouldn't
Yes.
you though?
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
right. I totally said that.
You went there.
I'm owning every bit of it.
Okay.
Somehow it gets worse.
Really?
Oh, it's gonna.
Okay, so overall, a semi-decent Pilsner. Okay.
yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah.
We're going to rate the BIBO a 2.
BIBO.
Wow.
So I had a topic worth discussing today. As I was driving over to the studio today, I saw a billboard with this, ad campaign that says, "Have a seltzer, save a river." I don't get it. This is the strangest concept, of feel good, do good, campaigning by some PR firm that has truly got everything out of whack. How can you take a product that uses fresh water that they draw from probably rivers, and create RO water, reverse osmosis water, to brew with, and then send that to the very same people that go out on the river and throw the cans of that hard seltzer all over the freaking river? That does not. None of this makes any sense to me whatsoever. I don't get it.
I think though you have to try to put some positive spin on drinking seltzer. Like you gotta find a reason. It's not like
We will donate to the
That is
great
the
outdoors.
funniest- That is the strangest concept I think I've heard Dave say. We have to put a positive spin on
Well,
drinking seltzer.
I mean, like, hey, drink seltzer. It's got great flavor. No, that doesn't work.
I would say that your prospects of getting pregnant, if you drink hard seltzer, are cut in half. If you were to drink something else, that's a positive spin. Second is that you probably won't sleep with the ugliest person in the room. It'll be the second ugliest person in the room if you drink hard seltzer.
drink seltzer. It makes your pee fizzy.
Yeah, there you go. See, now that is a solid campaign. Why do you want to save a river? That is just, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it's these kids today, man. What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm just going to ask, when was the last time you were on a river, Mike?
About 3 years ago. I live on a river, and trust me, I see the idiots that are out there.
Mike is very transient.
There's White Claw cans all over the freaking river,
Question is, which river?
Yeah.
What are they talking? What river are they really talking
Reverend
about?
Mark, you spent a lot of time on the river when you were a kid.
Oh, is this pet story time?
No. No, we're not going back to Boone's Farm.
There was this rabbit named Trixie, and she was on a float on the river.
She tasted good.
We had a pet cemetery. It was at the bottom of the river.
Wow.
I just don't get it. I'm sorry, but why don't these people from the PR firms call us and consult with them to come up with better ways?
Well, because of this conversation is why.
I always wonder how people get on these ad campaigns, and I've sat in these rooms and they go, "Yeah, let's save the river."
But let me say this,
and then everybody's like in a group think, how many rivers we're going to save? We can make this a center point of this entire campaign.
Let me just say this, okay? If any seltzer companies did want to approach us, we would be more than happy.
I am willing
to totally go against everything we're saying right now.
I'm telling you, the Don't Sleep with Ugly People campaign would work.
I think
drink seltzer, don't sleep with ugly people.
I think the problem is that everyone wants
the world
to
would
feel
not be populated.
Everyone wants to feel like they're doing something good, so they're going to save a river.
Sure.
We realize that we're all just terrible people, though.
Right.
So there's no need to pretend to try to do something good.
People want to feel like they're doing something good, but they don't actually want to do it.
I can put a good spin on it. Drink hard seltzer. Sleep with the good-looking Canadians.
Wow. And we're done. We lost the seltzer crowd and the Canadians, who we already lost.
I'm so confused.
Well, like I said, I saw the billboard. I was confused.
There's like a whole bunch of people in Canada going right now.
Wait a second.
What the hell did we do to Mike? At what point?
Where are the good-looking people in Canada? I want to know this.
Mike, do you enjoy poutine?
Negative.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I don't put gravy on my fries or my cereal.
You're a Southerner. You should put gravy on everything. Exactly.
It doesn't go on my fries.
I'm questioning your Southern credentials.
Have you ever had hash browns?
Not with gravy.
Have you had mashed potatoes with gravy?
Yeah, that's
Have you had?
So what's the difference?
Same starch.
I know, but yeah, it's totally different.
No, not
It's
really.
a different serving.
No.
I mean,
Right,
one is crisp and the other is soft.
I was about to say, yeah.
You killed. Yeah. All right.
What is going on here?
The views expressed by good old boy Mike do not entirely match up to what anybody else in the entire world would ever say about anything at all.
Look, if you can come up with a better campaign for hard seltzer, let us know. We'll pass that along to people that apparently need a little help.
Hard seltzer. It fits in a can.
Yeah.
We can use the leftovers from our other brewing process.
It fits in your can.
Play this again.
Wow. Well, might clean you out.
So what's the name of the next beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to the reality.
Silent.
Yes. It's called the Silent World. It's their black lager.
Been looking forward to this. I haven't tasted this. It's been sitting in the glass in front of me.
Coming in at 5.0 ABV. The Silent World is a black lager featuring notes of chocolate and coffee with caramel and toffee undertones.
It does not smell like a river.
They brewed this beer to dive into the depths of their love for old world traditional beer styles, specifically showcasing a type of lager that they greatly enjoy.
I would like a river that smelled like this, though.
Yes,
a river of
I agree.
this would be quite nice.
I love the aroma off this. This is really good. You get that roast malt.
If that river in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, if it was this,
I'm Augustus Gloop all day.
Yeah. No, it's very nice. It's a little watery on the front end to me, but then all the flavor kicks in. It's clean beer, which from the lager, but it's got a lot of chocolate, a little bit of coffee. Yeah, there's some definite complexity to this beer. I like it.
It's just enough complexity with the malt, the chocolate. I don't know, just even a little bit of kind of I wouldn't say smoke, but I'm liking it, but it's a little different than a Schwartz.
May the Schwartz
May your-
be with you.
Well, Schwartz has a lot more spices to it. Yeah,
Schwartz-
it's like all the baking spices and
Your
stuff.
Schwartz is
with
as big as
Schwartz
mine.
beers. Yeah.
Is it?
Whoa! She was so quick to jump in there,
Hey.
Dave. Cut her mic off, man. Juliana, what'd you think of the black lager here?
Cutting.
This is gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous.
Really?
Black lagers are so underrated.
You're tasting what's in that glass.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I'm
love this
tasting
beer.
what's in that glass. Yeah, black lagers are so underrated. I mean,
True.
It's light.
And
It's
underdone.
It's
Yeah.
not too heavy. The roast on there is just gorgeous. It draws you in. But it's not. It's very satisfying.
I am with Drew. This is the word underdone is right where I think this is, because that first reminds me of a Yoo-hoo, because you get that watery chocolate, kind of thing going.
I don't think you're with Drew at all.
No, I just like that word that he said it's underdone, because I just don't think that it's embodying enough of the elements of a lager. It's their crisp element to it is not there. I just, it feels like the chocolate and it's under attenuated, and it tastes
Are
like
you-
a chocolate watery
Are you
mess to me.
are you
at the
picking
end.
up the lactose?
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you stretching it all the way out for 4 beers, But yeah, I think in the hallows of black lagers, I think this is just underdone. It's too watery for me. I was looking forward to this because I love black lager. I think it's a great style, and there are a lot of people that have done this well. This is just not one of them.
I think it starts weak, but it finishes strong, is what I would say about it.
It's not crisp on the back end. It's flat, and
I don't get that. Like I do get
It's
like
not
a nice
crisp or dry or anything.
I get a
I
nice
know.
sharp, clean finish.
See, yeah,
Like,
it reminds
Yeah.
me a lot of a dry Irish stout, but
Yeah.
not a stout. I wonder. A lot of the black lagers that I have had in the U.S. market here in the last several years have tended towards more like black IPA.
yeah.
So
Oh, that's definitely not the way to go. Yeah, I agree.
I think this is maybe it's obviously come back from that. But perhaps, we've just tasted so many IPA-esque black
just
lagers
thinking
that
that
we've been
Their
pulled.
ability of making a solid lager is missing here. I just, to me, you have to have a really solid lager before you even are going to drop in, a roasted malt on top of it. And I just think the base beer here is what is missing. I just don't think this is a solid lager. I think they just added a bunch of chocolate malt on top of a barely, lager at the end of the day.
They should have put a tiny bit of chocolate malt, and then for the color, just a little bit of black malt, just a tiny little bit, just to give it the color. And
See, I think this is perfect. I mean, because as a light lager,
Here, you want the rest of mine?
yeah, I'll take it.
Well,
I
we
just-
knew there was going to be one beer. This show that Mike was going to go off the rails.
But I'm not going off the
yeah.
rails. I'm just saying I don't think
you're
it's
off the rails,
It's
Mike.
not a good lager, and it's not a good black lager. That's what
Well-
I'm saying.
Creature Comforts, if you're listening, I enjoy and appreciate what you've done, because I don't want a black lager that's really hoppy. I want a black lager
No,
that's
no,
going to
no,
be
one
light.
hoppy. Yeah.
Because if I wanted it heavier, I would go with a stout, a dry stout.
I would like it light. I would like it crisp and bitter at the end.
And I thought it was crisp and bitter at the end. Yeah, and roasty. We're not counting Mike in on this. Okay, the 5s are going to take this because we like it.
Wow. See, she is the boss. I told you. All right. Mike was the silent part of that world.
It's okay. I own the post-production editing process.
It's going to be a 2.
All right, let's get all pretty now and let's talk about Glamour Muscles.
Glamour.
Glamour Muscles is a triple IPA from Creature Comforts, coming in at 10.0 ABV.
This dog's got some legs.
Wow.
This will knock you dead at 5 feet.
So their triple IPA is hopped with Citra, Simcoe, and Chinook. Despite the higher ABV and hop flex,
Blend this with the black lager.
this bold, extravagant beer is quite
That might be actually
approachable
pretty good.
for any level of hop lover to enjoy.
I won't say that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that last part's accurate.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
your Michelob Ultra drinkers are not
Yeah.
going to.
If you're a seltzer fan, you're not gonna.
If you want to save a river, this beer is not for you.
This would jam your river.
All right, you can smell this beer from 5 feet away. It is so intense. It is definitely for people that are
If you're not a hophead,
hophead. If you drink Maximus for breakfast, every day. I mean,
I love
this
beer.
is your jam.
I love this beer. I think as big as it is and as strong as it is, I think it's got balance. I think it brings out the good things I like in the different hops they use.
Yeah, but if I knew, and I do know now, what this is like, come in and I have some choice, I would start out with the Tropicalia.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
and end up with this.
100%, yeah,
Because this would just kind of like numb me for the
this
rest of the
blows-
night.
You'd
this-
have
Yeah,
2
your
of these and
palate
be
is
done for the
destroyed.
day.
This is a palate burner.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's not a burnout. I think
It's
what
not bitter like it burns you out because
Yeah.
of all the bitterness.
Right.
It's just there's so much going on.
You're not drinking fresh 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not drinking Devil Dancer. It's more balanced than
If
that.
I drank two or three Tropicalias and then drank this one, I could still taste it.
Okay, well, I thought it was like a wet black cat in a lemon tree.
Ooh.
Wow. A beer,
Whoa.
a beer she
I
didn't
like
like. Okay.
We are going to rate Glamour Muscles Triple IPA from Creature Comforts a 4. And last but not least, briefly, we're going to talk about Imperial Tropical Hazy Double IPA. This one's 8%, well-balanced hazy double IPA with Citra, Centennial, and Galaxy hops.
Muddled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hazy and it's just I don't know. It's kind
If
of
you're
there.
indifferent and haven't figured out what you need, order this beer.
Trying to be too many things to too many people.
It's hard to talk about this one after that last.
That's for
one.
And
sure.
I don't even get the Imperial part of it. But
No, I don't either.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is just a hazy version of Tropicalia.
We're going to rate this one a 3. Well, that is going to do it for us today. Yay, team. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap.
Give it a little tappy. Tap-a-roo.
Tap that subscribe button. The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, or Uncle Larry and Aunt Susan, play podcast Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
We love your feedback, and you can reach us online at info@sipssudsandsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every day at SipSudsSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll be able to interact with the thousands of other fans on these social media platforms.
Millions!
hey, and do us a favor and take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online.
5 stars.
That's a big help to us, and we'll get to see your feedback as well. Thank you so much.
Well, it's that time, good old boy Dave.
Hey, follow me on Instagram at goodoldboydave.
Good old boy Mike.
Hey, don't follow me and do yourself a favor,
Truth.
but I'll ask you to
Truth.
come back, enjoy another great episode of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, and to keep on sipping.
Reverend Mark, always
This
a pleasure.
This was really nice. Thank you.
Good old boy Drew.
You are allowed to drink seltzer. We'll judge you, but you're allowed to.
Yeah, I will definitely judge you.
This is good old gal Juliana. I'm going to dry the cat out now.
Wait, what?
Cardi who?
I wonder if you can save a river with this beer.
I don't think you can say that on radio.
You might need to.
You should think about it,
Keep on chuggling, folks, and catch you next time.
been a 110 hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.